Welcome guys, my name's Francois Pretorius. We're in Mpumalanga this weekend for a 48-hour session, fishing one of the arms of the Vaal River on RPA's private property. Wind conditions, the wind's coming slightly towards us, which is a good thing. It oxygenates the water a bit and it increases our chances of a hookup because the fish is more active with more oxygen in the water. We're going to fish boilies, and if the boilies doesn't produce, we'll prepare some tiger nuts. But firstly, we're going to see what the boilies do for us. We're fishing 20mm fresh fruit 1 boilies for the session. And guys, let's see what we can show you and give you some tips on river fishing. First fish of the session. It was an unbelievable screaming run. It took the double 20mm boilie, fresh fruit 1 from Carp that I've put out this morning. It's coming in quite easily. Strong little river fish, giving me quite a tassel. Let's go and walk in because it's too shallow for me to get the fish from the bank. Giving me quite a great fight for its size, but it's due to the fish swimming in the rivers the whole day, so that's what they do. It's not like dam fish where they come in a bit easily. Let's go and get it onto the bank now, see what it weighs, have a look at it and release it again. Always important to keep the fish wet and your hands. Let's unhook the little fish quickly, show you what it looks like and get it back into the water. This fish is unhooked. Get the rig and everything out of the way. Very nice little mirror carp. Not very happy to be out of the water. Nice scale pattern on it. Some linear marks. Let's get this little guy back into the water. There it goes. Let's see if we can get its mum or dad or its grandfather. Bigger fish. Well, believe it or not, that little linear fish that we've just caught took a double 20mm boilie for its size. Fish was about 5 kgs, 4 maybe, and it actually swallowed a 20mm presentation. Amazing. I want to quickly show you guys what I'm using for today's session. Firstly, we're using the JRC Sabre X rods with a Mitchell Averunda 7500 loaded with fire line. I quickly want to show you guys the business end of the tackle that I'm setting up on my rod for the river fishing that we're doing. You need some JRC heavy tungsten tubing that will settle your end presentation nicely on the bottom, pin everything down to the bottom. We need some tail rubbers, a splicing needle or baiting needle, a tubing tool or tubing threader, a safety clip, and also a quick release swivel that I'm using. I'm quickly going to show you how we get the tungsten tubing onto our line. We're using our threading tool and a piece of tungsten tubing that's 1/2 meter long. Let me quickly show you how to get this onto our fire line. Firstly, take your threading tool, insert it into the tubing and make your way down the tubing with the threading tool. I'm going to take the line and I'm going to insert it into this open eye of the threading tool and pull the tubing over my line. So what I do is I take my fire line and I put it through the little eye of my splice of my threading tool, like that, and from there I pull my tubing onto my fire line. Next, we need to slide a little tail rubber onto our fire line. Let's get that done quickly. Slide it onto your baiting needle or your splicing needle, insert the line, close the latch and slide the little tail rubber onto your line, like that. And lastly, we need to tie our quick link swivel to the end of our line. So firstly, form a little loop in the line, bring it back, form a little double overhand loop, pull the tag end away and pull the eye through, and insert the swivel through there. Pull it nice and tight, tighten it, pulling the tag end and the main line away from the swivel, and that will form a nice little knot for you. Let's get the rest of the rig pulled down to it. The little tail rubber then goes onto the end of the safety clip, and that's where your weight will go as well. So all of this presentation with your tungsten tubing, that's a nice heavy tubing, will firmly be lying down on the bottom and presenting you with a very good chance of hooking a fish that's wary. Well, now everything is tied onto our line. This will sit nicely on the bottom, away from any wary fish, nicely pinned down. It's very important to make sure that your little swivel sits tightly in the safety clip. If it does pull free, it will cause that your weight does not eject, and that's the reason why we're using this setup. We want the lead to eject if it's a big fish, increasing our chances of landing the fish. So very important to always make sure that your swivel is firmly seated in your safety clip. Well guys, we've come to the end of our session. We haven't produced that much fish. We've put big baits out, double 20 mils and cluster baits to try and avoid the smaller fish. Unfortunately the bigger fish didn't come in this weekend. So let's see what we can bring you next time, and hope you guys learn a bit from river fishing tactics. Until next time, cheers.